Greetings, all you maniacs and minds on our crimes, and welcome back to some more Warframe. And today we're doing Warframe tier list yet again. It's been probably a little bit over a year since I've done this. Some things I think have changed or haven't changed. New frames have come out though. So keep in mind that mostly this is personal preference and opinion based. I'm not going to be talking about any quote unquote meta, because there really is no meta in Warframe. Let's be real here. The game is, it's Warframe. Like, come on. Don't try and sweat swamp everything because, it's Warframe. It's like trying to sweat swamp freaking like Payday 2 or like Bethesda games or Fallout and whatever. No. Anyway, so we got a lot of frames to go through. I've played almost every single frame in the game. There's only a handful or like 2 or 3 that I haven't played. So let's get going. Alright, so we are starting off with Ashe. And Ashe last time I think was about an A. And I don't think anything has changed with him. So he is still an extremely good frame, still an A. He works extremely well in every single content in the game, pretty more or less. But the only issue that I have with Ashe is I wish he was a bit more than he was. DE could definitely put some tweaks on him, especially for his 1, to make him throw not just 2 shurikens, but like 20 of them. That'd be nice. He can remove armor. His 4 does ludicrous amounts of damage. He has invisibility. And so overall, he's a very, very functional and honestly fairly fun frame to play. So, moving on. Atlas, Mr. Rock Punchy Boy. Yeah, nothing has changed about him. He is still an A, or A minus, I think I gave him. So, he's really tanky, but the only problem is one, I do not like stat sticks. I wish I could mod his fists directly. This goes for every other exalted weapon or exalted ability like Khora's whip or Gara's 1. But other than that, his kit also could use some tweaks. He should be much more of an earthbender than he is. He basically just petrifies people and punches them. It's a simple strategy, but it's effective. He's also pretty much immortal. He, especially with the Umbral mods, has a shit ton of health and armor, and it's really hard for him to die. And he's invincible when he's using his 1, so there's good things about him. There's just some more tweaks that I feel like should really, really happen. Anyway, moving on. Banshee. Okay, so with the helmet system, and you put pillage on her, well, she's almost an A+. I say almost because the infested. Pillage does not affect the infested, and I'm pretty sure that the augment for pillage does not work on frames that are not Hildren, which is kind of unfortunate. However, with pillage on her, you have a frame that has ludicrous damage, crowd control, armor stripping with her 1 augment, and nigh on immortality because of shield gating. Yeah, overall, Banshee is a beast. Do I think she still deserves some sort of rework? Kinda. But even without that, just throwing pillage on her, it's really hard for her to die. And the amount of damage that she can shovel out, I don't really care about damage. I don't care if I hit the enemy for 500 damage or 1,000,000 damage. If they die in one shot, they die in one shot. But for those people that, are obsessed over those huge numbers and breaking the game in half with numbers for some weird reason, Banshee is one of those frames that could easily hit the level cap, that and level cap of enemies, but also the number cap of the game engine, which I think is like 2.1 billion or something. It's happened. I personally have never seen that in my gameplay, but I've seen it in videos. It's possible. But overall, Banshee, she's really close to an A+. Um, and she is just a fantastic frame now. She's in a really good spot. Baruuk. All right, so I haven't played him all that much in a while. I've played him occasionally. He is an A+, but I don't know. I don't think he's boring to play, and he's also like not, you know, super engaging in my opinion. He is very effective. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on why I don't really enjoy playing him anymore. Um, I do like his kit. I like his aesthetic. The whole pacifistic monk that can wreck shit if he wants to, like an old master in some anime or something. Uh, he overall is a very good frame, but I think the main reason why, I don't really like him is farming for him was a pain in my ass. Holy shit. But overall, he sleeps the entire map. Well, not the entire map, but he can. And his 4 does stupid damage. Like, absolutely ludicrous amounts of damage. But I don't like to play a frame for one ability. I like to play a frame for all of the abilities. Not to say his kit is bad or anything. It really isn't. But, I'm going to give him an A+. But I just don't find him all that engaging. I don't know. The newest kid on the block, Caliban. Or Caliban. Alright. So, as a sentient-based frame, I feel like he's very weak. There are so many different things that sentients are capable of, and he just isn't capable of. He is fairly tanky. His 4 removes armor and shields forever, which is ridiculous, especially in Disruption, because he effectively trivializes the game mode, because the Demolists are literally paper without their shield or armor. Some Demolists don't actually have shields or armor. But whatever. He also crowd controls. His 2 suspends enemies in the air, but they float around a bit. I feel like they should be anchored to the place that they are. There's going to be some tweaks about him. I'm just going to give him a B. He really, really should be much more of a sentient frame, but he really isn't. Yeah, he has some sentient powers, but he just isn't what I envision as a sentient-based Warframe. A sentient-based Warframe should be one of the most broken things in existence because sentients make a Warframe. Holy shit. But instead, he's just kind of, Yeah, he's got cool things about him, just meh. So, I'm going to give him a B and move on. DE, please buff the dragon, or quote-unquote dragon. I'm going to say he's a B. Now, his damage, and he has gotten some tweaks where you can cycle his elements. I prefer electricity or heat because screw ice. I'd rather set the enemies on fire. Fucking really, Lotus? Anyway, I'd rather set the enemies on fire or hit them with electricity and shock them than slightly slow them down with cold damage or whatever. Either way, he is overall okay. He is the big boss killer. That's his main role. But I feel like he should be more than that. I don't know. When I envision a frame that can use the elements and is based off motherfucking dragons, I don't think Chroma. I think of a frame that Chroma should be. Maybe he'll get a full-blown rework one day. And that'd be great. Because I think he looks awesome. Ember. Well, she has not changed since her rework. She is still an absolute monster. She does ludicrous amounts of damage, strips armor. I still wish she stripped shields. But even though I enjoy playing her when I do play her, which is very rarely, The main problem I have with her is she's one of those frames where you basically just spam one ability. Um, and you don't really have to, but it's basically what a lot of people do with Ember. A lot of range, a lot of efficiency, spam her 4, and get energy from exothermic. That's a little boring. I wish she could do more with fire, but, her rework is fantastic. From what I've heard, before her rework, she was just like, what in the hell even is this frame? Um, so overall, I'm going to give her an A. She is fairly tanky. She has a lot of damage. She can remove armor. She's got crowd control. She has everything you would need and want. But again, I am not a fan of frames that rely on one ability. I like frames where the entire kit synergizes. Her kit synergizes okay, but not as much as I would want. Equinox. So, most people just use her for maim. That's very boring. I use her for Peaceful Provocation to basically be a Pocket Nova with Pillage, and like that, she's really hard to kill, can sleep enemies on a whim. She's mostly just a crowd control support. But, again, she's another frame that I wish was more. I think overall, though, she is very functional. She works extremely well in a lot of mission types. The fact that you can just, sleep enemies and do finishers on them is obviously very powerful. The fact that, you can slow the enemies down, like, to a crawl. You can have pillage on her. You have basically 2 frames in one. There's a lot about her that's really cool. But, I don't know. I feel like she's trying to do too much. It feels like she's one of those, characters in a game that feels like they're trying to do a little too much. Overall, though, I'm going to give her about an A. So, she works very well. Play her with Peaceful Provocation and Pillage, and you'll have a whole lot more fun playing her rather than just, sitting in a corner and spamming 4 with maim, because that is, again, very boring. Anyway, moving on. The poster boy of Warframe. So, does he work? Kinda, yeah. Can he kill the star chart? Yeah. Can he destroy Steel Path? Sure. Is he fun to play? No. I've met a lot of people that, praise Excalibur, and I just don't understand why. Effectively, in my eyes, he's a melee frame that doesn't melee frame. He's a crowd control frame that doesn't know how to crowd control. He's a DPS frame that can't really DPS all that well. And it's not because of the melee nerfs. He's a frame where you basically just use his 4, and that's really, really lame. Yeah, he can strip the sentience defenses, like the build of defenses, but you can just pop into your operator and do the same thing. His 1 is really wonky and pathetic. His 2, it's okay crowd control. I would actually recommend subsuming it because it's not bad. His 3 is pathetic. And his 4, it hits hard and does stupid finisher damage. It does true damage on finishers. The fuck? But the waves are very slow and just overall, I'm just going to give him a C+. I know that is a very low rating for Excalibur, the poster boy of Warframe, but 9 times out of 10, the poster boy of any game isn't spectacular. They feel like a beginner frame or beginner character, and that's what Excalibur is. But, that, again, it's just my personal opinion. I don't understand the hype around him. And I really don't understand why some people want Excalibur Prime. Really? You want to do with a key face? Weird. I want some of those Prime weapons, though. That'd be kind of neat. But as for Excalibur, just very If he gets a full-blown rework that makes him badass and sick as hell, then I'll read my words. But I don't think that's going to happen. Yes, he can hit hard. Yes, he can take a hit. But not really. So, moving on. Frost. Alright. So, this guy, I know for a fact, is old as hell. Like, didn't this guy come out like 2013, 2014 or some shit? Yeah. He really deserves a rework. As he is right now, I'm gonna give him a B plus. He's got some good things about him. He can strip armor. He's good at crowd controlling. Cold damage is actually fairly good at crowd controlling. He's fairly competent at it. He can defend defense targets pretty well. But overall, when it comes to a frame, a cryomancer, I think of someone like Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, or the people like that, where they're able to use ice in really creative, really devastating ways. What I would like to see with Frost is to have him actually become an ice mage, where he's able to, say, make blades out of ice and other weapons, and really use ice in a destructive way. I want him to be a DPS frame, a DPS / crowd control frame, maybe even minor support. He deserves better, but I'm not gonna fault him for that. He is just ancient. He's super old. Again, didn't he come out like 2013, 2014? Yeah, that was a long time ago. So I'm not gonna fault him for that. So he's a B plus. He's aged fairly well though. I'll give him that. Gara. This bitch is still an absolute menace. She's still an A plus, by the way. Like, I cannot really give her anything else. So what does she do? She has ridiculous damage reduction. Check. She has crowd control. Check. She has a shit ton of damage because of her 2 can have infinite scaling. Check. Her 1 can do a retarded amount of damage if you mod it correctly. Check. She can defend defense targets, give them about 90% damage reduction, give your teams that damage reduction, and everything else with a health bar that is friendly. Check. A fucking plus. And also Gara Prime is sick as hell looking. She looks like the Tenogen skin. That samurai looking Tenogen skin. And I don't hate it. So overall, Gara is amazing. And also I love the Estella Prime. I'm addicted to it. It's probably my favorite shotgun. One of my favorite shotguns. So overall, Gara, she just works. There's no real way to complicate it. She just works. That's all you need to say with her. She works extraordinarily well. So moving on, A plus. Garuda, same sort of story as Gara. In my eyes, she is an A plus. Now, some people might say that she isn't super tanky without her shield. I say that's a lie, because even in Steel Path, she kind of doesn't care. Yeah, her 1 I wish wrapped around her entire body. Maybe that will be like an adjustment one day. I don't know. She can support the team with health. She can do stupid amounts of damage with her 1 and 4. By the way, her 1 can do millions of damage, and her 4 does slash damage, depending on how much, stacks of damage you've gotten on her 1. So that is ridiculous. And she effectively has infinite energy and even more damage with her 3. I'd say her 3 is her most sort of meh ability, but it is nice that you can just get some energy. I wish she had more base armor though. When Garuda Prime comes out, she's going to be even greater, because she is going to have even more defense with the Umbral mods. I have mine set up Umbral, and she's a hard bitch to fucking kill. So overall, she is an A plus. She's not the easiest frame to use, but once you get used to her and what she's capable of, yeah, it's kind of insane. So A plus. Moving on. Gauss. We are on the A plus train again. Now, the thing with Gauss is he literally does not understand the concept of death. Once you have his 4 active and his 2 active, no, the enemies can't hurt you. Because he has stupid amounts of damage reduction. His 3 can also nuke areas and strip armor, which is always nice. And his 1 makes him super, super fast. and slams in enemies into slash damage and all that. Overall, his kit is another one of those Warframe kits that every ability benefits from itself and others. That's how a Warframe should be designed. Every single ability should do its own thing, but it should synergize with every other ability. He's at A+. Moving on. Grendel. Okay, so we're moving off the A+ train. Now, Grendel himself, I wish he was better. Maybe he'll get more tweaks. But you throw this guy in Steel Path against Steel Path Corpus, he's easily an A+, because he is immortal and he vaporizes Corpus. It's honestly pretty hilarious how effective he is. I already did a video on him in against Steel Path Corpus. It's hilarious. But against everything else, he's just kind of meh. I wish his buffs were, easier to understand. I also wish his buffs were, much more impactful. I think if they gave him the ability to give him and his allies toxin damage on the weapons, I don't think that'd be broken, because Saryn does the same thing for her. Overall, is he a functional frame? Yeah. What do I give him? I'm going to give him a B-. But against Corpus, he's easily an A. Easily an A. Up to an A+. But against everything else, he needs to be, buffed up. Harrow. This guy. Mr. Rap, tap, rap. Tap, rap, tap, whatever it is. ASMR boy. He's a fantastic frame. I subsume off his 4, which might be ludicrous to some people, but I mean, it gives him survivability, and you press your 2, press your 4, and then you have all your shields back, even with the buff, so there's that. He now has a passive ability where he gets all of his energy at the start of the mission. Thank fuck. That is very nice. Nice little convenience there. He has great crowd control, good support. He's not the greatest support, but he is very helpful, gives basically unlimited energy to people, and his buffs to weapons, higher rate of fire, higher reload speed, is really, really cool. So overall, he's fantastic. He just is. Harrow works. I'm going to give him an A. He is not easy to use. He really isn't. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get really fucking frustrated playing him, and you will not want to play him again. But be patient and understand that he wants shields, and put pillage on his 4, and you should be fine. Once you get into the loop with Harrow, you're basically just going to be shutting down the entire map with crowd control, giving everybody infinite energy, healing, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Once Harrow gets going, he doesn't stop. So, moving on. Hildren, A+. Easy A+. She's easily one of the tankiest frames in the game. She's even tankier than Inaros. Some people might call Cap. No, I'm not fucking kidding. She is sort of weak against Infested. That's just a little unfortunate. But her 3 augment / 2 augment Blazing Pillage will actually help you against Infested. She lights enemies on fire with that, which is good. She just has so much tankiness. And she's honestly pretty fun to play. I subsume off her 1, and I gave her energized munitions, and it feels like it fits Hildren a little too well, and I love it too much. I know it's not quote-unquote the meta choice, but I don't give a fuck. It's my game, I'm playing it how I want, and energized munitions with her is fun. Her 4 can also spawn energy orbs and crowd control. Why doesn't she equip the Luxfer when she's in her 4? That'd be sick as fucking hell. I would love that. I would love that. I would love that. She's a pain in the ass to get your hands on, though. So if you're going for her, I had to go for her 3 times. Once because I didn't really find her all that fun, so I got rid of her. Then I got her again and tried her again, loved her. And then the helmet system came out, and I wanted pillage, so I had to get her again. Fuck. But once you get her, she's a whole lot of fun to play. A+. Here's another frame that deserves a rework. I'm going to give him a B. Hydroid really should be a waterbender in my opinion. Or like an eldritch horror abomination from like, space between space that you cannot possibly fathom lest you lose your mind and humanity. H.P. Lovecraft stuff, fun stuff. So I'm gonna speed through a few of these frames. So yeah, let's move on. B. Inaros. God fucking damn it, I want him to be better. God fucking damn it, I want him to be a sandbender. God damn it, I want him to be that one crazy ninja from Naruto. The dude with the sand. That guy, that fucking demon spawn. Somehow edgier than Sasuke. Anyway, he deserves better. Inaros deserves way fucking better. Command the Desert's fearsome power. Yeah, no, he just stands there and takes damage, and he really can't take much damage anymore, which is slightly unfortunate. He has a big health pool, and that's all he's got. So, moving on. I'm going to give him a B+. Ivara, my frame of choice when doing spy missions and sorties, and that's kind of it. I know there's a lot of people that really like her. Her Artemis bow is cool. She has cool things about her. I'm going to give her a B+. It's just, the game isn't centered around what she wants to do, her style of play, which is sort of unfortunate. If game modes come out where slow and steady wins the race, which is not going to happen because it's Warframe, and where a stealth frame like her is super awesome, then it's going to be freaking awesome. But unfortunately, she just doesn't feel like she fits in the game all that much. She has good things about her. I'm going to say that much. She's got really good things about her. So, yeah, she's a B+. Khora. I really, 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 really wish that they did not nerf the Zorus, because that actually made her super fun to play, because, her one actually did damage. Her one is so reliant on combo counter, it's not even funny. It didn't break the game, DE, for fuck's sake. It just made her, more fun to play. She's an A, by the way. Lots of crowd control. Okay survivability. Most of her survivability comes with the crowd control of her 4 and her 2. Her whip claw can do dumb damage. Her 3 can heal. She can get loot. She could do basically everything that you'd want her to do. So she is an A. It's just super unfortunate that, her 4 doesn't keep combo counter forever. If they added that, oh my god, that'd be amazing. I'd play Khora way more than I do. I haven't played her in a very long time. And that's such a shame because I like Khora. I think she's neat. The whole Beastmaster thing, it's cool. But fuck me, DE. Why did you have to do that? Lavos, another one of the new frames. Well, not really new anymore. I'm going to give him an A. Now, the reason I only give him an A, even though he's super tanky and does, lots of things really good, really well, really fun, why doesn't he have grenades? Why doesn't he have, where he can make, mixtures and then throw them at the enemies instead of just, sliding around? I don't know. There's something missing about him, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Overall, though, he works very well. He's a very well-designed frame. His entire kit is literally dependent on his entire kit. You take one off and he doesn't work anymore. But there is just something about him that I just can't put my finger on. He's missing a little accoutrement. He's missing something. Limbo. You should be the most powerful frame in the game because you fuck with time, you fourth dimensional being. But meh. I'm going to give him a B. I don't really need to explain why. He fucks with his teammates too much. Good Limbos can be really nice to play with, and I think his aesthetic's pretty neat. And I think he has so much potential, but Oh my god, he could use a rework. Okay, now we are back on the A plus train. Mag. You want to talk about a frame that keeps getting stronger over the years. You want to talk about a frame that snaps this game in half. That's Mag. Holy fuck. Once you know how to play her, she's just stupid. She is stupid what she's capable of. She has ridiculous crowd control, armor stripping. She can basically turn off enemies because you disable weapons or disarm them. She has shield gating and shield gating for your entire team, so she's also a light support. And her 2 is like the most damaging thing in this entire game, and I don't even think it's close. I really don't. You put that bubble on an enemy, and enemies walk into that bubble or get pulled into that bubble. They just die. It really does not matter their level. She can also remove armor pretty easily with her 4 augment. Yeah, there's a reason why Mag is one of my most played frames. She's not only powerful, she's also pretty fun. She can be pretty scary, but once you know how to play her, you're gonna see why I say that Mag snaps the game in half. It's honestly kind of ludicrous. A plus. Mesa. Huh. Well, I'm gonna give her a B plus. No. Don't pitchfork me, you simps. I just find her kind of boring. Yeah, she's got good things about her again. Her 4 does a lot of damage, but it's kind of lame using her 4. I kind of wish that she buffed guns more. Her 2 buffs guns, but it's only secondaries. That's really lame. I don't even think it buffs them that much. Her 1 is kind of weird. It's especially weird with beam weapons. And yeah, her 3 gives her some survivability, but it's only towards projectiles and not explosives. And if a toxin cloud hits her, she still dies. I like her cowgirl aesthetic. I like her aesthetic. She's a good-looking frame. It's just she's a little lame to play. But that's just my personal opinion. If this is your favorite frame, fuck it. I don't care. Mirage. Another frame that I feel like needs a rework. She has lots of damage. That's kind of all she has. Because you lose all that damage if you go into the shade and get damage reduction instead. That is such a stupid fucking mechanic. Oh my god, that frustrates me. Although, if you use her 2 augment, Explosive Ledgerman, she will absolutely smash things like normal Star Chart missions and Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. So that's cool. But as an illusionist, she's another one of those frames that's missing something. So I'm gonna give her a B plus. And we're just gonna move on. Nekros. So do I think he's, mediocre? Yep. Why? Because he's not a necromancer. He's just a dude that plays with corpses. Gross. He gives you loot. But I've been playing this game for over 4 years. So I don't need any of the loot that he gives. I play him when I have, say, a Sister of Parvos or a Corpus Lich or Kuva Lich, because I can get the relics from the minions a lot easier with him. I put Pillage on him to give him more survivability, because getting this guy to be tanky, you need the universe to align with the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy, and stars also have to align, and everything needs to be perfect for that to happen, which is very lame. What the fuck was that, Nekros? So yeah, I'm gonna give him a B plus. What he does well, but he's disappointing. Necromancers are cool, but he isn't. I can't even really give him a rating. Nezha is my favorite frame. He's the frame that I have the most time with. He's A++, S tier. I really can't even rate him. Now, why is he my favorite? He does everything right. He's fast, he's fun, he crowd controls, he debuffs the enemies. I do wish that his 4 could be an exalted spear of fire and ride around on his disc like he does in the Journey to the West story. If they add that as a 4 augment, oh my fucking god, I would adore that too fucking much. I'd basically play no other frame. I'm not even fucking kidding. Kind of am kidding. But, Nezha, he literally does not die. He's a fire deity. Do you think these stupid mortals could affect him? And guys, he's not a trap. He's a femboy. And that is perfectly okay. You want to talk about a perfectly designed frame. Nidus is another A+ member. Why? His entire kit depends on itself and each other, and he works way too fucking well. So, yeah, he is one of those frames that do need longer mission types to really get going, but once he gets going, there's no stopping him. He smashes everything in his way. Literally nothing can faze him. He's perfect. Well, not perfect, because he does take some time to get going, but he's pretty much perfect. So, another A+ category member. Nova, extremely old frame. Another one of those really, really old frames. Do I think she's good? Yes. Do I think she is a little bit overhyped sometimes? And do I think Speed Nova is annoying? Yes. She controls antimatter. I wish she was more of a DPS frame that nukes shit to oblivion. She still kind of does that. And her survivability is a bit dubious. Because a gentle breeze sometimes will kill her, and other times she can take a nuke to the face and not care. It's really weird. She's also kind of ugly. Nova Prime looks better, but overall, though, she is a A-. I'm going to give her an A-. I feel pretty confident in that, mostly, because she does stuff very, very well. So, anyway, moving on. Nyx, a frame that I haven't played in a while, and when I got her, I was like, hey, she does stuff, but she doesn't do enough. She really needs a full-blown rework. Also, why is her sprint speed 1.13? That's very specific. That's weird. She needs to be better, and I'm going to do another what if rework video on her. So I'm just going to not go over her anymore. I'm just going to give her B+ and move on. She does some good things, just not enough. So the story behind Oberon is they found a goat chewing on radioactive rods. It became bipedal and literally cannot die and make other people not die. That's Oberon. A+. Literally immortal. He does so many good things. He can strip armor. He crowd controls. He can buff everybody's weapons with radiation damage, which a lot of enemies in this game really do not appreciate. He is a radioactive Chernobyl goat. We all know this. And we love him for it. He is also the king of fairies if you go by the Shakespearean lore. Oberon and Titania, the king and queen gods of the forest sort of thing. But he's fantastic. He's also one of my first frames that I got over my actually no, he is my first frame that I actually farmed for. So overall, very, very good frame. Also pretty fun to play. I just don't play him too much because I'm so smothered with options nowadays. Anyway, moving on. Octavia. Does she do damage? Yes. Is she broken? Yes. Is she fun to play? Not really. This is gonna probably piss people off. I'm gonna give her a B+, almost an A. Now, why? Why am I doing this? She does so much damage, dude. All of her buffs and everything. Crowd control, everything. She's got everything. She isn't fun. That's my biggest issue with her. She just isn't fun. It's really weird that they made a DJ of death. That's sort of an odd choice. When other frames in this game are like, oh, they're based on a fire deity, or they're based on dragons, or, other things like that. But they weaponize the Oregon weaponized music. What? That's weird. That's really weird. Again, she has really good things about her. She just isn't very engaging. I don't think DE could actually make her engaging without her being frustrating. So I'm just going to give her B+, A-, and move on. Protea, A+. I don't even really need to explain why, but I'm going to anyway. Survivability for your entire team that is absolutely ridiculous. Check. Crowd control that also kills enemies really quick. Check. Support with energy, ammo, and health infinitely. Check. And her 4 is a panic button that I don't really care about. Okay. Yeah. And also her 2 does stupid damage. It also has infinite enemy penetration, so there is that. And also does heat damage and guaranteed crits. Why? I don't know. I kind of wish there was an augment for it that did cold damage to slow enemies down. That'd be kind of neat, but whatever. Overall, yeah, Protea. She's another one of those frames that's designed really, really well. She's also pretty fun. She's a lot of fun. And she smashes everything. Every single game mode that you could play in the game that she would be applicable to, which is 90% of the content, except for like Eidolons, but no one cares about Eidolons. Yeah, no, Steel Path, she doesn't care about. Disruption, she doesn't care. ESO, she doesn't care. She just, whatever you throw in front of her is going to get obliterated, and there's nothing it can do about it. Infested can be a problem, but it's only because she relies on shields, and toxin damage is toxin damage, so we're moving on. A+. Revenant. I want you to be better. I really do. I did an entire video of a what if rework, and some people actually thought it was a cool rework, but they thought that it would probably never happen, and yeah, probably. Someone said I didn't understand him. I do understand him. It's just he isn't engaging, and he's not what I think of when I think of an Eidolon that's also a Warframe. This fucker is a Warframe that's an Eidolon. He should be busted, but he's not. Again, he's got good things about him. I'm going to give him a B+. He's got good things about him. It's just, D, give this man some love. Rework him. Pablo, please. Anyway, moving on. All aboard the overhype train. I'm not even kidding. Rhino is a slower, worse Nezha. That's exactly what he is. Yeah, he does some things. He's okay tanky. It's just his tanking ability is very, very old. It's very clunky. His entire kit's very clunky. His 3 can buff gun damage to pretty insane degrees, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of Hammerhead here. Literally, his Rhino Prime's head looks like a hammer. He just isn't very engaging to play. I played him in Scarlet Spear because he was fantastic at it, but meh. It's just meh. So I'm gonna give him a B+, and we are moving on. Saryn. So what do I think about Saryn? She has a lot of damage, and very mediocre survivability, to be honest. She can get hit really hard and die very fast. But I guess that's just a risky play when you play Saryn. She can buff everybody's weapons with corrosive, which is cool. And she does do corrosive, toxin, and viral all at once. She has, again, good things about her, but it's her survivability that I'm not too sure of. She can take way too much damage. She does a lot of damage. She's a glass cannon, effectively. I do use her in arbitration defense because she's really good at it. Yeah, she can do a lot of damage, but I think her design and all of that's cool. It's again, it just comes down to her survivability. So we're moving on. I'm gonna give her I'm going to give her a B plus A minus. Edgy boy. Well, the second edgy boy. And there's also an edgy girl, aka Garuda. I'm going to give him an A. A solid, rock solid, firm A. Because, well, he does so many good things. He's got a lot of crowd control, good damage, debuffing, team support sometimes. And his shadow is very powerful when you know what you're doing. And no, you do not need 15 form in him. I have like 4 form in him, 1 in himself and 3 in his shadow's claws, and that's it. And it kills Steel Path. So there's that. Overall, he's powerful. Again, it feels like he's missing a little something. He's missing a little something. I don't know what it is, but I like his aesthetics. He's very edgy, very cool. Does a lot of really good things. So we're moving on. Also, his quest was also pretty interesting. Oh boy, Miss Fairy. I'm gonna give her a solid A. She's gotten tweaks over the years, which has really accelerated her. There's some things that come out that synergize her with very, very well. Again, she's another frame with really good things about her. But, I don't know. She has a lot of damage, crowd control, team support, kind of. She's a very good frame. I just don't really enjoy playing her all that much. I do play her. It's just not very, very often. Also, I never really understood why she came out with the Corinth Prime, but I'm not complaining. The Corinth Prime is a joy to use. Overall, Titania, you really can't go wrong with her. She's fantastic. It's just, again, there's a little something that I feel like she's missing. Anyway, moving on. She's a support. Only a support. But still, A motherfucking plus. She's a support that literally cannot die, just like Oberon. She heals. She gives energy. She gives damage reduction, full shields, and overshields. What more could you want? A better one, probably. But you can subsume different abilities onto her one, and build Titania however you want. Not Titania, Trinity however you want. Trinity is fan-fucking-tastic. She's also a lot of fun to play. And the fact that you also get immunity to knockdowns with her 3, even fucking better. So if you're going on a long mission, having a Trinity with you, there's nothing wrong with that, like, at all. She's going to be doing a good Trinity. No, your team is immortal with a good Trinity. And being a good Trinity is not that hard. You just spam your 4. You just have an over-obsession with your 4 button. Anyway, fantastic frame, A+. Another Warframe that I feel like should get a rework, full-blown rework, not just tweaks. I'm going to give her a B, or B+, yeah, B+. She's pretty tanky. Her 4 does a lot of damage. It's just, I don't think the problem is that she doesn't do damage in a wide area. She's a melee-based frame, and that's fine. Melee is very strong. It's just, there is something about her that just feels a bit either rushed or off. I can't really explain it. I don't know. There should be something, really, really special about her. She is sort of special. The lore with her is actually very interesting and dark. Fuck Alad V. Piece of shit. But I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just gonna give her a B+ and move on. Vauban. Boobin. A frame that has been mean to hell, but is an absolute monster. So what does he do? Basically, infinite crowd control and infinite damage. So there's that. I feel like some of his abilities, his mines, and his 3 are weak, although he does stupid amounts of damage and can crowd control enemies infinitely, and that makes him an A+. I know that's ridiculous to say, but he is a fucking A+. You put pillage on him, and he's an engineer that literally does not know the concept of death. I keep saying put pillage on things, and When they don't have a lot of armor, shield is where you want to go, and it works very well with him. And again, you put your 4 down in a crowded hallway, he sucks all the enemies in. You put your 2 down with a flechette orb, and they all die. So I don't know how that's bad. Enemies that are crowd controlled and also have our armor removed can't do anything. So we are moving on. A+. Another frame that I feel like deserves a full-blown rework because he has so much potential when it comes to electricity. Another frame that I'm probably going to do a what-if rework for. I just need to think of more ideas for him. I'm going to give him a B+, A- rating. He can do good damage. He has good things about him, but again, he feels watered down. When I think of a frame that can control electricity, when I think of, Electromancers, I think of Raiden from Mortal Kombat. I think of Static Shock. I think of Miles Morales. They're able to do ridiculous things with electricity. Miles Morales isn't just all about electricity. He is a Spider-Man. But anyway. Also, if you haven't seen Static Shock, the original series, treat yourself. It's fantastic. It's perfect in every way. So, with all that, Volt Prime, Volt just needs... He needs help. Again, I feel like he's a very old frame. So we're moving on. A-, B+. Wisp. There's a lot of good things about her, and there's also some things about her that sort of annoy me. I'm not a big fan of when there's a Wisp on my team that give me ridiculous rates of fire because ammo economy can be a bit of a problem. So that's annoying. Although her support's pretty good. Her 3 can do lots of damage. Her 4 is okay. Again, she's got good things about her. I'm going to give her an A, a solid A. She works very well. But I don't know. I just don't know. Again, I really can't explain it, but overall though, good frame. Wukong. I don't think he's too boring. I think he's about a B+. No, I'm not going to do that to him. I'm giving him an A-. Again, really good things about him. His clone is aimbot mode. His 2 heals, his 3 can do damage and give him armor, and his 4 does a lot of damage. But, this is supposed to be Wukong from Journey to the West. Son Wukong. He should have, powers out of the wazoo, but obviously Warframe is restricted to 4 powers unless you're Equinox, or other frames that have a different mode. I feel like that should be what Wukong is, but he's not. It's okay, though. It's okay. I don't blame Monkey Man here. He's okay. He works very well in a lot of situations. You really can't go wrong playing Wukong. Anyway, he is an A-, and we are moving on. Xaku. When he came out, he was very frustrating. But now, overall, he works very well. I know I call him a he, even though it's technically gender neutral, but I'm just gonna say he. I really hope that doesn't upset you. Anyway, so he's, again, really good things about him. I'm giving him an A. His survivability can be a bit dubious because dodge is not like Payday 2 dodge where it's really, really powerful. He does a lot of damage. He can crowd control. He can strip enemies' armor. He can do lots and lots of things. He can shred Steel Path too, and his 1 is sort of underrated because it basically has miniature mag bubbles. Pair that with a projectile weapon like the Panthera Prime with armor stripping, and you do the math and see what happens. Panthera Prime is underrated, and it is a fantastic weapon, and I will defend it with my life. Anyway, Xaku is an A. He's a solid, rock solid A. Works very well. And I think he's kind of cool. He's sort of a frame that is just like mashed together. So, moving on. And last, but certainly not least, is Zephyr Prime. Burb frame is a solid A. She has a lot of crowd control damage. She has gotten some nice tweaks, some love, which makes me very happy. I've always liked Zephyr. I've always liked her aesthetic and everything. She is the wind, the airbender. I feel like she could use, you know, bend air in a much more ferocious manner. Maybe like a charge mode for her too that does stupid amounts of damage, but it's okay. Overall, you really can't go wrong with her. And I think Zephyr Prime is very beautiful looking. I think she has a very nice aesthetic about her. Uh, Overall, yeah, she works extremely well. Um, and you know, she's a lot of fun. She actually is quite a lot of fun to play. Uh, Play her with a beam weapon that can arc the enemies, like the primary Vermis Splicer or something like that, or a nuke weapon with her 4, and you stay in her air for more critical chance, and Nuke City. She literally drops bombs on people. And the enemies can't do shit because of her 3. So, yeah. That's all the frames. That took over an hour. Fuck me. This video is probably not going to be an hour. It's probably going to be like 57-ish minutes. But, you know, there's more frames are going to be coming out as this game continues to expand. Things are going to change about different frames. I'm curious about what might change. Overall, let me know your thoughts on this Warframe tier list. Again, this is personal preference. I'm not, you know, trying to bash anybody's favorite frame or their waifu or man waifu. Hey, you do you. Your account, your game, your life, sort of thing. So don't get too upsetty about this. I really hope people don't get too uppity about it. Again, I think I rated everybody fairly here. With all that being said, there's a lot of Warframes in this game, a lot of different playstyles to try out. Try them all, see what you like. The only frame I didn't cover was what? Loki and Ureli? Yeah, that's the only 2 frames I don't have. Everyone else I do have. I didn't farm Loki Prime because he seems boring, and I'm waiting for Ureli to get a full-blown rework or something, and then I might go for her because she doesn't look very fun. She looks rather frustrating. Anyway, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trilby, we trust.